Hello, Doctor.
Hello. Hi,
Hello.
Are we
Stefan.
well? Are
Hello,
we good?
everyone. We're good.
Good. And then we have our special guest. We have Mr. Bosco Menendez, founder of Big B Photography.
Photography. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Menezes.
Menezes. Yeah,
Yeah.
I knew I was going to get it wrong. I should have. I just call you Bosco anytime I see you. So
Yeah, that's
I'm
good
just
enough.
trying to be posh, Bosco. Just sorry. Anyway, let's read out the sponsorship message. This podcast is sponsored by Nelson Park Property, awarded the best real estate agency in 2019. Nelson Park Property has been operating in Qatar for more than 10 years, helping families find their new home, individuals purchase their next investment, and companies move to their new offices. With Nelson Park team of more than 30 agents, they are confident of helping you make the right decision for your real estate needs. Get in contact with Nelson Park Property on 5551-7567 or visit www.nelsonparkproperty.com. And just a recap of what this show is all about. We want this show to be a positive and uplifting podcast where you can walk away feeling revitalized and ready to face another day. We're going to bring you experts in their field of business to let you know how they are dealing with this current situation and what measures they have taken to get through this storm. We also want to hear from entertainers, singers, musicians, artists, yoga teachers, anyone that can show us their skills on air live. If you're interested, please get in contact with me on network@gingercamel.com or interact with this message board.
Live.
Hello, Darren Jones. Darren Jones is on. Okay. So, Mr. Bosco, how are you doing?
Well, I'm doing fine given the circumstances, but I'm fine.
Now he's lost his voice. Now look, Mr. Bosco, you're a very social, you're a very proactive type of person. Now I can just imagine you in this situation going a little bit stir crazy. How's it going? How are you keeping motivated?
Well, I have enough of crazy people at home, so I'm pretty cool.
Did you see that glance?
Yeah. And I've been keeping busy with myself as in doing some yoga. I'll get there soon. I've been doing some sketches. This is something I wanted to always do as a kid. I used to do it as a kid, and I wanted to do it more often. And now I have the opportunity to do that. So I've got back to the drawing board, as they say, and then a couple of sketches. And they've been well received by my social media followers. In fact, it's been reshared by Qatar Museums and Shika Mayasa and a couple of other people. I will do some of that work soon.
Are you sure they're not just being kind?
They're. Well, you can judge for yourself.
Okay, come on, show us.
This is some of my work. This is Barzan.
So what you're using? Just pencil or charcoal?
Charcoal actually.
Okay.
And it's I've picked up a series called Qatari Heritage Sites.
Okay.
So I'm doing different heritage sites. They're actually images I've taken, photographs. I'm turning photographs that I've taken as a photographer and converting them into sketches.
Oh, very nice.
That's
yeah, very good.
I might, if I get any more good feedback, I might. That's another picture.
Is that through a broken window?
That's not a broken window, actually. Well noticed, Stefan. That's actually a view from the National Museum of Qatar. Yeah, it's not a broken window.
Oh,
yeah. Those. Yeah, I think with the frames. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
And if you're not bored, I can show you another one.
No, this is what it's all about. How you can inspire people.
Yeah. Well, I was inspired by a Qatari artist.
Hello, Dave. Dave's online as well. It's
Hi,
all right.
Dave.
You carry on.
Hi, Darren.
Yeah, hang on. I'm new to this, You're the pro. You guys are the pro. Hang on. I need my assistant to help me here now. Where is this other artwork? Can you show that to me, Geraldine?
Well, look, let's just talk to Dr. Hanan while he sorts out his.
Yeah.
Dr. Hanan, is art a very good way to calm the mind, or trying to settle yourself?
Definitely. One of the main things that they have realized with a lot of the creative people is there is this state of flow. They call it the state of flow. And that is the state where you literally disconnect from everything around. You lose track of time and you're just getting all your energy and all your creativity out. This applies to artists in terms of drawing. It applies to writers. It even applies to directors, everyone who's doing something that they're passionate about. And I think a lot of people try to seek that for some parts of their lives, is to achieve that state of flow. It really is yet again, this is another subjective channel of channeling your energy, in sense of, I get it. I can't draw per se, so I'm not an artist in that sense, but I discovered a couple of years ago, I think, coloring by numbers, which is which sounds a bit childish, but I actually got some very, very interesting paintings out of that, and I have them framed. Maybe I'll get a photo. I can't get them off the wall now, but I have them framed on the wall now, and it's just,
Wow.
this is how I achieve my state of flow. I usually just paint by numbers, and I'm usually listening to, whether I'm studying something or listening to a lecture or something in the background, and I find that my retention of the information then is actually amplified. Puzzles. A lot of people are getting in touch back with their childhood puzzles, and getting back into that. Of course, drawing, writing, music. It's any form that works for you. Some just breathe. Some do the yoga. It's how you are channeling your energy to give you the maximum flow and gives you peace of mind. And at that point also, it's very important to understand, and that's something that gets a bit confused when we talk about meditation or relaxing activities and stuff. What you're doing then is, you are not trying to control and block your mind. You're not trying to empty it out. What you're actually doing is letting it flow, as in the sense of becoming that channel where whatever ideas are coming in and coming out, you're just letting them go through you. Some people reach their maximum aha moments during those times. So it's not about quieting what's happening up there.
Sorry, what moment was that? What moment?
There's the aha moment. Oprah talks about it all the time. It's like, I found it, that is something. And it's usually a big idea or a very small thing, but you can do it differently, innovation related, creativity related. But it is just letting yourself channel energy, channel your thoughts, letting it all go through you. And this is how you achieve it. I tried to fight that at the beginning, where I was like, meditation is all about being quiet. It's about quieting the voices in my head. And I had such a hard time, or I nearly fell asleep a few times. I'm like, I'm doing this all wrong. I was always, you always find there was something wrong with you.
Absolutely.
But in essence, that is it. That is part of the process. Whether you want to achieve a place where it's just quiet up there, that's up to you. Or I want it as noisy as possible, because that one noise is going to come out louder, and that is where I get my ideas. So, Bosco, it's beautiful that you're utilizing both talents that you've got, your photographic eye, and you're translating that with your hand into sketches.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's quieting your mind or your household.
Yeah, it's actually it's something I wanted to do many years ago, like convert some pictures into art, into sketches, and now I've finally gotten to doing it. And as I've had many photo expos in Qatar, I might just want to have an expo after all this has calmed down, and the virus leaves us. I'm also having my first virtual Big B meetup on the 18th of this month on Zoom.
Very good. You don't stop, do you, Bosco?
Pardon?
You don't stop.
Yeah, I don't stop till I drop.
Yeah. So this virtual meetup.
Yeah.
So is there a theme to it?
There's a theme to it. Yeah, I call it coping with COVID.
Coping with what?
COVID.
Coping with COVID.
Okay. Yeah.
I dropped the 19 off because it's now we're in 20.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've already have my speakers on board. I've got a Qatari artist. Her name is Shukal Mana. She is one of the first artists to start a series called Sketch at QM. She's going to be showing some of her sketches, what she's been doing, and she has inspired me to start sketching actually during these quarantine times, And then I have Vishnu Yoga. He's going to do some yoga asanas with us. And I have my best buddy Ahmed Al Shahrani. He's always in all my meetups. He's differently abled, and he's an athlete. He's going to talk about what he's been doing in quarantine.
Yeah.
And I have the co-founder of Wahab Food Heroes. They are an NGO in Qatar that distribute meals to people who are less privileged all around the year. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I am part of Wahab Food Heroes. And during this quarantine, Qatar Red Crescent called us over to volunteer. And I have registered as a volunteer through Wahab with Qatar Red Crescent. Because, Qatar Red Crescent and other charities are looking for volunteers during these times because everybody's at home and they really need volunteers to help out in any way possible. So I said, since I have some free time, a lot of free time, let me, give that away.
Very good. And just go through that because you were mentioning it before the show, what you've done so far at the Red Crescent.
Well, actually, the Red Crescent, we've got some training, basic training about coronavirus, giving us some information, and told us, to keep hygienic. The most important, so basic thing is to just wash your hands regularly. It might sound trivial, but it's so basic, but it's so important to wash your hands daily and to only go by the MOPH and WHO sites, not just take any WhatsApp message that you get for true.
There's a lot out there, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. And the very next week, Wahab Food Heroes went out and distributed meals to a few places that were requiring, a few places in Qatar that were requiring meals. I wouldn't say laborers alone, but even families and stuff like that.
Oh, superb.
Yeah. And coming back to some of my artwork, which I'm very proud of.
Look, who's running the show here? Just calm down. Let's just go back to your meetup. What date?
It's on the 18th.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how do they find it?
Well, I'm gonna be sharing it on social media soon.
Okay.
And
so if people go to your Facebook page, is that where they can get all
more on Instagram?
Okay, your Instagram.
I will share it on Facebook also. But I'm going to I won't take more than, say, 80 to 100 people coming on board if I get 100 people on my Zoom chat.
Yeah, how does that work? Because I'm not really familiar with the Zoom. How big a Zoom meetup can you have?
For the free version, you can go up to 100. For a paid version, you can go up to 200. So
you're going for the free version?
Absolutely. For now, if I get sponsors, I might just go, I will. If I get more people interested, I will definitely do that. Yeah.
Well, surely you should get sponsors on board, because what else have they got to sponsor at the moment?
Yeah. You're right. Yeah. True. That's a nice thought pattern. I will keep that in mind. Yeah. But actually, more than sponsors, I just want to get the word out and give people a feel-good factor, and then see how it goes. Because
go on. Sorry.
Another thing in the training we got at Red Crescent, which I didn't. It just reminded me, is that people are looking for psychological help, and I'm sure Dr. Hanan will say, yeah, she's giving me the nod. Yeah. The Red Crescent guy, he's not a psychologist. He's just he's a medic. But he said many people in quarantine are looking for help, and they're not looking for Netflix help. They're looking for somebody to talk to them in their own language. Just a hello, how are you doing? Salam alaikum, or in Hindi or any language. When you speak their language, if I speak Scottish to you or Irish, or whatever, you're like, oh wow, something like that.
Yeah, Dr. Hanan, that's what people need, isn't it?
Yes, that's in essence what got us to start going live on a daily basis. It's not just necessarily the psychological help; it's just the mental support in that sense. It's also that sense of you are not alone. We're all in this together, and that becomes the bottom line of any kind of support that you can reach out. I had a conversation with one of my friends, and I said, she was also going through a little bit of the anxiety of what's happening, and there are people less privileged and stuff. And I said, yes, and there are people dedicated to helping them. Look at it from your perspective. What can you personally do? What is your impact? What is your positivity that you can bring to the table? So she can do something from her scope of services, whether she does it for free or discounted price or whatever it is. Everyone can come from a place where they can support. And we've been speaking about this to Stefan the past couple of days of, just even reaching out to your friends and with a voice message or a video call and saying, hi, how are you doing? Are you doing okay? We're all looking for that kind of support, internally and externally. We are physically distanced, but we don't need to be emotionally or mentally distanced. We also need to put a lot of attention on our children. They are also have suddenly just been disconnected from their friends and their schools and their routines and their sports activities. And we have to accommodate that, and we have to embrace it for them and support them alongside. So definitely, I hope your meetup goes great, and I hope you can control 100 people on a meetup.
I'm
Yeah,
Interesting.
are you going to mute them all?
Absolutely. You'll have to raise your hand to talk to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
As well. But I'd love to have you all on board, and because if it goes well, and I'm sure it does, I would like to do this weekly. So I have a virtual Big B meetup weekly, because I believe, you can only see so much of Netflix or free movies online.
Absolutely.
You want to do something interactive. You want to speak to your friends, as you said, and maybe I'd even have not a challenge, but have an activity for people to do. And Ramadan is nearly upon us in a couple of weeks, so that's going to be also very interesting and good.
Absolutely. Just say hello to Asif, who's just joined us.
Yeah,
Hello.
he's a friend of ours, mine.
He's one of yours.
Yeah, he's a hockey player, actually. He's from my hockey entourage, all the way from Pakistan, actually. Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Hello,
Okay.
and hi,
Okay.
Steve.
So we've covered your meetup. You're going to have everyone mute.
Not really. Yeah, virtually.
No, I'm looking forward to that. So anyone that is interested in Bosco's meetup, then just go to his Instagram page. What's your Instagram page called?
It's Big B Photography.
Big B Photography.
With an F, BIGBFOTOGRAFI.
Okay.
I will. Yeah, and I'm also since you're running the show, continue, please.
Yeah, no, you go. No,
Yeah.
but yes, carry on.
Well, since we are in the world of virtuality, I'm also I'm pretty positive of working on a virtual art expo. I've spoken to spoken to a few artists, and I'm just looking for a platform, maybe a ginger camel kind of a platform where we could work together on having an art expo with local community artists from different nationalities. I've done this before, but I've done a physical one.
Yeah.
Had it at Fraser Suites in 2018 in November. I had around 35 artists, but this time I want to go a little more further because it's virtual. We could virtually have as many as we want.
No, absolutely. Sounds good. So you've used this time to break away from your mother-in-law and wife and and separate yourself, and you've been able to literally come up with all these ideas.
Thank you, Stefan. I knew that you're going to grill me. I told you that. Thanks a lot. Okay, buddy, touche.
So, has the drawing been an excuse? Don't interrupt me. My creative juices are flowing.
Well, I've been thrown the kitchen at. They've been throwing stuff at me, but I'm handling it pretty well. Yeah. I'm also working on my website, which has taken more than a year.
Yes, I can see why you're working on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So you've been working on a website as well?
Yeah, it's just bigbphotography.com because I'm still trying to see what exactly I am doing. As I do photography. I've delved into marketing and sales before that. PR. So people say, "Are you a photographer?" I'm like, "Yeah," because I lose out on projects sometimes, Stefan, because they said, "Oh, I didn't know you're a photographer. I thought you were a social media guru or Big B meetup a social guy." I'm like, "Oh my God, no, I need the photography work too."
No, but isn't that funny how people pigeonhole you just because they've come across you in a certain
Yeah. Can Dr. Hanan help me there? How do you
Yes, you are the business doctor, Dr. Hanan.
I am the business doctor.
How do you stop that?
It's about clarity, Bosco. And I also had this issue when I first started. And I remember I sent out a message to all my contact database saying, you know what, if you need this, I'll do it. And if I can do this and that stuff. And I was trying to utilize and build up on all my experiential knowledge. I worked in marketing. I co-founded a few businesses. I was doing my doctorate in international business. I was all about sustainable growth of SMEs. And I remember when we've become good friends, one of them responded saying, "You're doing too much. What do you want to be known for?" And this has led me onto a few years of going through, what do I want to be known for? And for me, I kind of found that purpose, that merge for me was not only that I support women in building sustainable, profitable businesses, but ensuring that they have and achieve balance alongside that.
Why only women?
I relate to women more. No, actually, I found that for a lot of women, we unfortunately, especially within the Middle East, well, actually, I would even say worldwide, we deprioritize our dreams on ourselves because we are wearing so many other hats. So when you come to think of yourself and manifesting your own purpose in terms of a business, it usually does take a deprioritized item on your list. And then when you do approach it, you are a lot of the women get kind of held back by their own limiting beliefs, by what those around them tell them, that you don't know business, you can't do this, this is too big. What about the kids? What about home? What about even your job? If you're not even married and you don't have kids, but you have a job, so how am I going to let go of that? That's my security, that's my stability. So all of this goes through the thought process of when women want to start their own business. And then beyond that, they're also made to believe that they're not into numbers. So you can't put the numbers together to put a business up that is up and profitable, or the sustainability, or especially those that go into, handicrafts and where they have to deal with day-to-day laborers. You're not going to be able to control them. You can't speak their language. You can't relate to them. And these are all misconceptions, and these are all just limiting beliefs, and these are all about the mindset. So I came from a place where, I've been there, I've done that. I was one of my worst disempowering forces, even though credentially and academically I should have been able to do it all easily. But then that became my healing journey. That became my empowerment journey. And that's why I want to give to every woman I cross paths with in that sense. So from your perspective, you have to sit with yourself and, even if it's a piece of paper and a pen, and say, what are my skill sets? And what is it that, I excel at? Where is my experiential knowledge? Where do I shine? But more importantly, what do I internally? What's my purpose? What's my passion? And what do I want people to know me for? So when they say Bosco, is it Bosco the photographer, or Bosco the PR guy, or Bosco the social media guru, or Bosco the yoga person, or Bosco the innovator who created a platform for art exhibitions? He's the force that brings together everything about art. And in that sense, then you can come to the place where you will find that your message and your communication, whether that be one-on-one or through your everything you put out on social media and even your website, would be highlighting that about you. The other things, it could be extras. It could be, I worked with Bosco. He did this amazing photography exhibition and that, and he actually marketed very well. So if I think of something of marketing that's a bit innovative, let me get Bosco's ideas or insights into this. But that's not your bread and butter. That's not what you're known for. That's not your persona and what you're putting out to the world. And I think we sometimes feel bad that there's so much we can do and people only know us for 1 or 2 out of 10 things. But sometimes you need to be known in those 2 things, and the others get alongside, but then you can do it. It's just an additional. But your bread and butter, your identification, what people identify with you, your USP, your unique selling proposition needs to be clear and needs to be upfront.
I'm trying to cash in with my passion.
Exactly. That actually is a beautiful way to put it, because I call it capitalizing on your passion to manifest your purpose and then get your profits. And your profits they're not just about the financials, but your health, your wellness, and your happiness and your feelings of satisfaction and fulfillment. That's all a big scope of profits that we overlook when we think just a monetary form.
That's so
it could
true.
be that you're getting 1,000 here, but you're getting an equivalent of 9,000 in fulfillment and in happiness and everything else.
I fully believe that, because after each Big B meetup, I feel so fulfilled. Not financially all the time, but mentally and
I relate.
Yeah.
We all can relate, Bosco.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really nice. And thank you, Stefan, for really getting me on board here. I would like to thank you now, because Dr. Hanan, you are the right person for me right now in these quarantine times. It's really nice, and you've
We
been
all cross paths for a
information.
reason at the right time.
That's why she's here, to help you and to help everyone that's watching and listening.
Yeah, amazing. I'm really glad.
Absolutely. So do you think the Big B photography is too generic? Should it be a bit more like Bosco the guru or Bosco the
artist?
Yeah. The thing is, the funny point is, I've been a marketing person for 20 years, and I've marketed other companies in sales and stuff like that. But I have not yet got to market myself well. I'm saying this on live TV, but
don't worry, there's only a few people watching.
Yeah, so that's the truth. I believe in the past 2 years, Big B Meetup has become a much bigger brand than Big B Photography. So I've channeled my thoughts and my energy towards making Big B Meetup my main brand. And photography, it's a passion, and I'm proud of my kind of vision with my photography, but it doesn't pay the bills. So I'm trying to see what else I can do. So there's photography, there's Big B Meetup, which I would love Dr. Hanan to be a speaker at some point.
I would love that. I'd be honored. Thank you.
Yeah, and if you go to my website, you'll have a look at the people.
We'll connect for sure after the show. We'll connect to talk.
And I'm still in 2 minds with Big B Photography and Big B Meetup. These are the 2 things that will take me forward and keep me happy.
I'd like you to take just this statement with you. Tony Robbins uses this statement where focus goes, energy flows. And that's accordingly where you're putting your focus now is where your energy will be flowing, and where you will put in your maximum effort. And then accordingly, that's where you will be manifesting your profits.
Wow.
So see what builds up for you. What gives you the most satisfaction.
Okay, that's nice, because it's funny you said that, because all my well-wishers and family members tell me, Bosco, focus. Yeah.
I tell that to my son all the time, by the way.
No, you're doing good, Bosco. You're amazing.
You're doing great things. It's just that when, as you said, when you're talking about returns and you're talking about profits and we talk about fulfillment, then yes, maybe you need to kind of just focus some of your energy there.
Yeah. You're breaking up a bit? No, it's fine. Yeah.
You did break up then,
No.
Dr. Hanan. Just can you repeat the
Oh, okay.
last?
So I said when it's great to be versatile in your talent base and in what excites you. But when it comes to finding and manifesting a purpose, especially when it's related to bringing in the profits, and especially the financial part where you have a household that you need to pay the bills, then maybe you need to funnel it in a little bit. So it's between where you're putting in your focus and your energy to manifest the profits that you're looking for.
Wow. Thank you. Let's put it really straightforward and bluntly. And now, yeah, great.
But Bosco, do you think sometimes you come across as an individual? Maybe you need to come up over as more of a corporation, more of a powerhouse. So
Absolutely. Well, I don't know about the powerhouse. I think I'm already a powerhouse.
oh, you are a powerhouse for sure.
But as a corporation, yes, absolutely. Because I have some big ideas, and I've approached big companies, and they said, yeah, well, you got to do this and you got to do that. And because I was going to have a big meetup at something really interesting, a metro site last year, but we had to, tune it down or turn it down for some reasons unknown. But maybe I might do something at the metro site next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look forward to that.
Pardon?
Look forward to that.
Oh yeah, sure. Thanks so much. Yeah, but yeah, corporation. Yeah, maybe an SME or something like that, or maybe I'll go through a ginger camel.
Happy to talk. Happy to talk.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Anyway, we come to the end. I really appreciate you coming on the show, Bosco.
Well, to be frank, I was a bit nervous in the beginning because the last time I told you, you grilled me, and that was not live. This is live. But Dr. Hanan, it has been an honor and a pleasure, and I've taken so much from you, and I can't thank Stefan enough.
Don't worry, we'll chat again. We'll talk again for sure.
It'll be a calming effect. You're like Steve Mackey.
Look, I get the hint, Bosco. You like Steve better than me. It's all right. He's watching, and it looks like your fan base is watching you. You've got Maria, you got Janice, you got Myra, Gary,
okay,
and Savio.
Oh, really?
All rooting for you.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right then. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
For today's show, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow, Dr. Hanan.
Thank you, Stefan. Have an amazing day, guys.
Cheers. Bye-bye.